Try turning on the mini-map. I'm not sure if that's really necessary. I guess I could try it out at least once, right? Okay, let's start. I don't remember what happened last time. Oh, and also knows the mini-map now. New edition. Well, that's very cool. They showed the beginning of a new chapter in the blog. Okay, then I'll just start reading from here. As soon as he tries to ask her how she's been doing, expressing concern, the loud noise appears again. Special key. Because of how long it's been since the last time I played. It hasn't been that long, but I have terrible memory. I don't exactly remember what the explanation for the elevator was, but I do remember thinking that the key they're talking about is the old rusty key we found on the floor. So, can we at least try that to see if it goes to the elevator or the attic? Maybe? the culprit was the one who dropped the key, then that would mean that they had access to it beforehand as well. But since they don't have access to it anymore, it means that they might not be able to check up on whatever they checked up on before, or something like that. She probably just wants to go to the bathroom, but is too embarrassed to say it. Keep well. Oh, I kinda just realized the minimap is directly where the chat box is. So, I'm not sure if anyone's even going to appear in the chat right now, but if they do, they'll probably get covered up. So I should probably remove that before I have to deal with it. So much for that idea. What? Since when was that established? I mean, don't get me wrong, this is still an interesting mystery, but is this really necessary? I don't think this has anything to do with the gem being stolen. So, is it really worth thinking about? Maybe, I guess. Perhaps it's just in case. What? What is that supposed to mean? I didn't know if the fact that my maid wished to go back to how things used to be meant I was a bad person. but I couldn't change the way I felt. What was up with the way things used to be? Yo, what's up, killer? There are still 11 hours left? Oh damn. I've been playing this game for like 4 hours by now. Just about, like, give or take. Wait, you're stupid. Of course you would say that if you were the culprit. Sorry, I kind of reread that text there. I don't want to slow the pace of the story, but at the same time, sometimes I don't understand what they're saying right away, or like the implications, so I need to reread it. Since when were you a part of the conversation, Sai? This dude thinks he's the main character. Unbelievable. That'd be kinda stupid. It would also be really funny though. Okay, we don't want to keep checking the suitcase every time. Can we, like, move it somewhere? What does this mean? We'd only been doing it differently because it was what Kate had suggested. I don't remember what he suggested. I can kind of guess what might be in there. Mate, really? That's what you say when you find a dead body? I mean, I was about to make a joke as well, but even I have more class. Yeah, that was exactly what I was expecting. That thing Isla said. I wrote this in my notes, I remember. Here. Isla claims to know a friend, told her the events in the tower. Says the fam, she says the fam, oh my god. She says the friend is female and doesn't work in the building. Promised each other not to tell any information other than that. Could Naomi be the friend? And that's why Isla is reacting the way she is? Because, like, I feel like she would be more freaked out. Actually, you'd probably be more freaked out if it's a friend. No, it's because of the way she's speaking. She says that's impossible. Like, that's not really something I think a kid would say to a person that they've never seen before who's dead. So she might have a relationship with Naomi in some way. Okay, well, I guess Naomi's not the culprit. Of course, it's still possible she could have caused the whole, like, gas leak incident or whatever. However, if the person who set up this whole situation or whatever was planning to get the Sekimeiya in the end, they would need to be alive in order to do so. So that means Naomi, at the very least, wasn't working alone. Oh, and also suddenly backstory. Oh, so I didn't do this like as soon as I found it, but I just want to write about the fact that Sai has a bag big enough to the Sekimeiya. I don't know if they would have mentioned it if it wasn't important, so I decided to write it. I'm kinda glad Kaz isn't here for this. I'm kinda worried at the comments he might have made. 2011? The hell is Mia? Perhaps Mia is someone we know with a different name. Or perhaps Mia is actually a character in the game that I just forgot the face of. That wouldn't be that wouldn't be too unlikely. Terrible parents. That's why they said that at the beginning of the game, where they were like, we were used to these kinds of like simple interactions or whatever. That wasn't the exact wording, but I don't feel like checking what it was. that Sai or a Karo? No, it was a Karo. It was the killer. Yo, now I can actually say killer. Not just, the culprit. No, he was also the killer. Crap. I don't think that you should get angry. Why isn't kill the proper word to use? No, just because you're getting killed, that doesn't mean you have to scream. If anything, that's a very peculiar person. Or wait, no. Like, that's... There's blood on the wall coming from the back of her head. How would you, like... If you were stabbing somebody to kill them, you should do that, like, before they're able to scream. So, if anything, that seems like he might have been making an excuse. Or maybe not him, maybe even someone else, but... It feels like an excuse to make people think, oh, she must have been screaming while she died. Or something like that. Okay, you know what? Screw trying to solve the mystery. We should all just, like, have our backs to each other. Anyone who tries to kill us, they're gonna get killed first, and if the killer is among us, they're not gonna be able to act while the whole group is there. We got them. There's no use in risking the possibility of more deaths. Why would anyone do that? That doesn't really matter. The point is somebody did it. What? Man, I defended you. Goddamn. Mate, you're an idiot. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If all of us are lying, then, like, yeah, you can't really believe anything, and in that case, you shouldn't even be trying to say anything at all. Actually, if you really believe that all of us are lying and working together, you should be, like, running away. Your actions don't make sense. Okay, nice. Nice. So nobody's going to believe them. Yeah, even if everyone was lying, there are still way better, like, way more other people that are more likely to have killed them. Because if I was the killer, I wouldn't be trying to, or Atsuki, I mean, he wouldn't be trying to defend Kate in this situation, or it would be less likely at least. Well, to be honest, I have garbage memory, but I assume if that were true, Atsuki would have confirmed it. So I'm guessing it's not. Or is it? Perhaps there's some kind of supernatural workings going on here. think I figured out why you're not supposed to keep the Sekimeiya warm. I'm gonna go look through the lock. No particular reason. After Naomi left, when she understood that I wouldn't believe her claims, I heard a noise. This hallway B. I saw Atsuki. I think how he's not even like considering what happened. He's not like, oh crap, did I do some drugs or something? Like, what happened? Okay, there you go. That's something you should have said like as soon as he woke up. So wait, the smell didn't exist. The cabinet was closed, but the body was still there. That could only be as a result of time travel of some kind. But this isn't just sending your consciousness back to the past. His body literally moved. So then what happened during the present? The elevator. This will be important later. Can she not see you? No, but she talked to you, didn't she? If somebody was able to use the Sekimeiya to time travel, then that changes everything. That means alibis don't really apply, do they? Pretty much anyone could have committed any murders they want. And evading security cameras wouldn't have been a problem either, probably. Though I'm not exactly sure how the teleportation on the Sekimeiya works. You know, I just had a thought. What if Naomi killed herself? I don't mean that Naomi committed suicide. I mean, what if Naomi, from the future, time traveled to the past, and then killed herself in the past, and then just decided to hang out in the lockers or something until this whole thing was over, and steal the Sekimeiya? It'd be pretty easy, right? Like, well, it wouldn't be easy, but if she was dead, then, or presumed dead, then she could get away with it easily. It was a magic trick. It was just magic. Oh, but we shouldn't have anyone else touching it. You know, can't this thing, like, you know, a time-traveling gemstone or whatever, this could, like, save lives, probably. It shouldn't just be some, like, exhibitionist art that we use to, like, show to people and to let them feel it or whatever. We need to, like, you know, get this to the government or something. Or some organization that, like, helps save lives and stuff. So I guess that's not the government. Because it doesn't save lives. Yeah, you get it? Oh, come on, you guys saw me teleport. It's not like I'm saying that some random magical power came out of nowhere. You are aware that there's some kind of magic going on here. Hmm. Hmm. So, if I'm understanding correctly, which to be honest I can't even tell at this point, the Sekimeiya isn't in there anymore, so of course they wouldn't be able to feel it as well. But where did it go then? Did it also teleport? Yeah, we can check the security cameras. I'm sure that his past self is there as well. I wonder what the first timeline was like. The timeline where Atsuki, like, where the Atsuki didn't walk through the hallway, didn't go through the elevator or whatever, and didn't end up in this room right now. Like, the first time he touched the Sekimeiya, he would have just disappeared and never come back, and they would have all, like, thought he was dead or something. In all these time travel stories, they never show the first timeline, the one that starts it all. But, like, I mean, it's no wonder that one's usually the least interesting, but regardless, it must exist, right? Damn, the game is self-aware. Oh damn, the game is thinking about stuff like this. To be honest, I really find time travel in fiction to be really interesting, just because of the way, like, paradoxes and, you know, infinite loops, the way that those are handled. Um, just wanna add my own input here. I do think that if time travel existed in the real world, I don't think there would be such a thing as the grandfather paradox. If you were to take this example of, like, you know, preventing yourself from being able to time travel, and, like, as a result of time traveling, the person that time travels still exists. It's not like they just disappear, you know? It's not like Back to the Future. That person still exists, it's just that the other version of yourself in that timeline isn't able to go to another timeline like you did. But of course, you know, stories can have their own rules, and I'm willing to accept the way they work. Except for Back to the Future, like, that one was ridiculous. Back to the Future had kind of like a mix between the grandfather paradox being the thing that exists, and, like, you know, consequentialism not affecting the you that time traveled. Basically, if you do something like preventing your parents from giving birth to you, uh, you don't, like, disappear, but you also don't just stay alive completely. There's a weird thing where, like, you start disappearing, like, slowly, and, like, you know, parts of your body end up becoming transparent and eventually stop existing. It was kind of weird. Very, very strange way to make time travel work, in my opinion. And yeah, of course, in this case, there is no paradox. Oh my god. hell is this? I mean, it's not impossible that this was all faked, but that would require everyone else in the building to have been going along with it. Technically, there's no hard evidence that we actually time traveled, you know? I'm sure we could check a clock, but those could be tampered with as well. It is possible that he was drugged out. Somehow they erased his memories from the point at which he took the Sekimeiya. And they all said, alright, let's play a prank on him. He's going to ride up the elevator. Shiroya, you're going to be upstairs, do that whole thing with him. And then we all meet back in this room and pretend that he just disappeared, you know? Yeah, I'm doubtful of that. Actually, that's not even true. No, there was something else I forgot about. The body's scent. To be able to remove the scent of a body, I guess it's possible if given enough time. However, to be able to put it back again is quite difficult. Oh, but isn't it quite strange that the smell didn't appear right away? That body must have been quite fresh when you stumbled upon it. I don't really know how corpses smell, to be honest. I know, like, for some reason I didn't decide to do research on the way dead bodies smell. I kinda wanna do some research on it now, to be honest, but I don't think it's worth it. It's just a story, not everything needs to be scientifically accurate. Can't use time travel to explain everything. I'm trying to think of the story that I can relate that line to, but I can't. It feels like something a really crappy written story can do, though. Use time travel to explain everything. Did it turn gray because it's like done time traveling? Like after it time travels something, you have to like wait a little bit before you can use it again. Oh, the temperature was to be important later. don't really see how any of this stuff even matters. Like, yeah, it is possible Atsuki could have killed them from their perspective. I mean, we know that we aren't the killer. However, that doesn't change the fact that Kate could have killed him regardless. And so could Sai, actually. Actually, now that I think about it, it is possible Atsuki could have killed her. It's just that it wasn't the Atsuki we're playing as. It was Atsuki from the future. I suppose there's nothing technically stopping that, as long as we don't know exactly how the time travel mechanics of the Sekimeiya works. Yeah, the main problem to me is just that is the teleportation really random? Like, it didn't teleport him too far back into the past, and there doesn't seem to be a way to control how far back it sends you, so... Could it be correlated to temperature by chance? Like, the hotter it is, the further back it sends you? That's kinda stupid, but... And if it gets cold enough, then it doesn't send you to the past at all. It just, like, keeps you in the present, I suppose. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. These are pretty stupid theories, not gonna lie. But I feel like there could be a bit of truth to them, maybe. Well done, even Atsuki has come to that conclusion, that the glowing is the sign that it can make you time travel. Well, yeah, I also thought of that, but just because he took it out of the cabinet, that doesn't mean it would become warm enough right away. Wouldn't it be funny if he actually did travel again? I don't know about that. I feel like we need to understand the mechanics of this murder, and also having a time-traveling Sekimeiya could be pretty cool. Sai is actually considering this. I expected Shiroya to believe me after convincing her enough, but I didn't expect Sai to. Really? If we had just locked it this whole time, we could have avoided the Sekimeiya gang stolen at all. Well, it didn't get stolen, but, we could have avoided someone trying to. No, actually, it did get stolen. Like, when it was taken out and put inside the cabinet. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, that seems pretty normal. You can't unlock it after you lock it. Can we try that rusty key we had before, please? At least an attempt? After everyone's left the room? Let's split up, gang. Oh, come on, man. We've already established time travel. The others don't believe it, but you do. How do we know that one of you didn't make the noise? What if one of you guys are time travelers? And you're just pretending to fit into the group? Shut the hell up, then. Man, I thought that Sai was kinda cool, but to be honest, I figured out he's kinda a dick, isn't he? Yeah, like, yeah, I get it, this is a murder, you have to not trust anyone, but that doesn't mean you have to be such a dick about it. Let's have multiple people stay here, not just one. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's kind of stupid. Oh damn, he's catching on. Well, of course I am after he started acting like this. What do you mean suspected? You were like the third least likely suspect out of all of us. Which, you know, is still pretty high up, but... I mean, we can still check. There could be other important items on our bodies. This seems a bit out of character for you, Shibaya. No. I mean, like, I guess that's a good idea, but you need to think about the morality of the situation. The red coloring has disappeared. Not, no, they could have if they time traveled. In fact, there could be two Sekimeyas if the existence of time travel is real. Well, that would require time traveling the Sekimeiya, but actually, is that possible? Could you perhaps use the Sekimeiya to send the Sekimeiya back to the past? You would have to make it touch itself. Um, okay, yeah, maybe not. That is a bit far-fetched. Maybe, like, at the end, somebody's going to crack the egg open, and there are going to be two of them, and they're gonna smash them together, and that'll be, like, a really important plot point, or something. No, no, I disagree. It could have been one of us. Again, because of time travel. That was actually a grammar mistake. They should have said they might have not let people take food into the tower anyway. It's past tense. What, are you trying to say that the tiger time traveled? I don't know if I could sleep knowing that one of us could be a murderer, unless of course I kill them all. Well, you felt a burning sensation, didn't you? This actually reminds me of something. When she mentioned, like, if it hurt to time travel. It was a movie that I saw a few years ago. It's called Primer, and it was about time travel. It was complicated as hell, but it was also really cool. In order to time travel in that movie, you would have to spend time, like, in the time travel box. And I don't remember how it worked, but, like, you actually had to stay there for a long time in order to actually go back in time. And it could actually, like, have physical effects on you. I guess because your body is being warped in time, it results in your body, like, being desynced from normal time or something. It kind of means that you can't just keep time traveling forever. There's a limit to it. But man, that's so inconvenient. This is also pretty complicated. To be honest, I don't know if I understand this as well as these two seem to, but I think I get the main idea. Kate and Irina, and a third person. Well, Sai said that it actually would be a good idea. I wonder why he would say that if Shiroya is saying that it wasn't. Could his motives perhaps be not very good? Could he perhaps have some kind of malicious intent with this setup? Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, they mentioned this earlier, right? Sai said that like, oh yeah, it's a pretty boring motive, but the reason they want to steal it back was just because it was a valuable gemstone. The game was saying that that wasn't really that interesting of a motive, and that made me think that there might be a more important motive, and there is. It can time travel. I can think of many, many, many reasons why people would want to spend a lot of resources getting their hands on it. If a big organization like the Zuri or whatever it was called found out about this, yeah, they would definitely do what they're doing right now. Murder and cause havoc, trap 8 people inside of the building. Well, it's not 8 anymore, but you know what I mean. Okay, well, in that case, what if they're after the Sekimeiya, like, literally right now? The biggest mystery to me is exactly what the location is that they bring you to. It brought Atsuki to hallway A, but I'm not sure if that's really random or if there's some kind of pattern that you could follow for it. I find it doubtful that it would take you to hallway A every time though, because that's a very specific place. Like what if you took the Sekimeiya like outside of the building to like the mountains or something and then used it? Would you really go inside of the hallway for this specific building? No. It must at least be like a location that's nearby or something. Is it possible that it just brings you to the location that you were thinking of last? Somehow? Was Atsuki even thinking of that location? I don't know. It seems pretty far-fetched that I could read your mind though. Exactly when it time travels you to isn't as big of a mystery. There might be more things that change the outcome of that, but for now I think it's safe to assume that it just takes you the same amount of time back in time every time. Unless I was right before and it's actually based on temperature. Oh, and also I just had a thought. There's no hard evidence for it, it's just something I thought of. What if the culprit, or just somebody who was time traveling, actually placed the rusty key down on the ground specifically for us to find it? And in reality, they didn't like actually trap it, it's just something that, you know, they went through this whole, like let's say it was actually Atsuki that left it there. he went through this whole mystery thing, right? At the end of the day, everyone's happy the killer was found, and he's like, oh wait, but I was only able to catch the killer because the rusty cube was on the floor. I guess I should time travel to the past and leave it there so the next me ends up picking it up, you know? Kinda like what Uni did in Remember 11. The only reason I think that is just because, you know, the key is rusty. That means it was used for a long time. Perhaps it's only rusty because it was continually cycling through time many, many times. Yo, are you from the past or the future? Wait, how can someone be from the past? What? Why would you phrase it like that? Okay, well if they're in the elevator, that means they could leave the elevator at any time. That will be very important to the future. Sorry, I don't, I don't actually give a crap about what's going on. I just thought of, thought of something. Damn, I didn't write this down. Really? Alright, guess I'll have to use the handy dandy search function. Crap, there's a lot more than I thought. Doesn't account for spaces. Or no, that's not it. Min. There we go. According to her, 3 men and 4 women would be trapped here. It's 4 men and 3 women, not counting Naomi. Yeah, that was what I wanted to check. The fact that there are 4 women could be explained away by Naomi, you know, being dead. But how would she think that there are 3 men when there are actually 4? I just assumed that one of them is actually a trap, but not sure if that's the case. You know what, perhaps I shouldn't phrase it like that. One of them is pretending to be male. I guess that phrasing could be insensitive, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking, you know, I know it sounds pretty stupid, but Kate and Sai both have white hair. So is it possible that Sai just, like, time traveled so many times that he actually grew old and time traveled to, like, the beginning of this and pretended to be the culprit? And in reality, there's actually 3 men here. It's just that one of them was another one from the future. Okay, to be honest, that sounded stupider out loud than it did in my head. Even though I knew it was quite stupid. Oh wait. You say 9th person, but in reality there was an 8th person. Not 9th. The 8th person we had before is dead. She's not a person anymore. I'm not saying she's wrong for saying that there's a 9th person. It's just that, like, it feels to me like she's trying to forget about the fact that Naomi is dead. Oh, and also before I forget, I should probably write that down. I don't know why I didn't. I was even thinking while writing it that that was important info. Wait, no, other way around. No, we don't need to worry about that. Who cares about the police? They never solve crime anyway, people. Okay, that is a good point, right? But here's the counter argument. Somebody was murdered, and the murderer is probably one of us or someone else in the building. So we need to fucking like stand next to each other, backs against each other, holding knives. And everyone needs to be able to see everyone. Okay, come on. Time travel is more realistic than a ghost. He's probably just really weak. They probably just wanted to go to the bathroom. They have to be prepared for that. Shouldn't someone go with him? Shouldn't someone go with him? You say it's empty, but you don't know that. There could be... The Sekimeiya could be in there right now. Then... It would make it harder for the culprit if they want to retrieve it at any point. What if he's the culprit and he's retrieving it right now? Uh-oh. Introduce the key into the little keyhole. Again? Is this the same Niobe? No, that's impossible. Even if she time traveled, there should only be one body, right? No, that's not necessarily true. But in that case, the possibility of her killing herself was very likely. Okay, so this is kind of complicated, right? And I'm sure there's an alternate explanation for this, but here's what I'm thinking. Naomi time traveled to the past and then killed herself in the past. And then she time traveled again after that, after her dead body was there, and killed herself again. And that means her body could hypothetically be in two places at once while she's still alive. Now, that's just a hypothetical, of course. It's still possible for her to have two bodies even if somebody else was killing her and she's not actually the killer, but that's just the easiest way to explain what I'm thinking. Of course, it's also possible the body was just moved, but that seems kind of, boring. The curtain was actually important. It could be some kind of, I don't know, mannequin or something. A really big stuffed doll. Well, there is still some doubt. You know, you could say that it's personal, but it's still technically possible someone faked the suit. But nah, that's probably not what happened. Oh, I actually didn't think of that either. The body itself might have time traveled. Okay, then I don't know what I was on about. Yo, I have an idea. Why don't we try putting something in this Naomi's pocket, and then the and then the next time we find Naomi's body, we can check to see if it's still there, if we find it in another location. It's not even a bad idea. It's kind of stupid, but yeah, we can try that. The little, like, red tint that it had around the background had disappeared. That was there the last time we were in the bathroom. With the body. Oh, is he going to think about it too? No, even that could still work if there was a third Naomi. But yeah, it is something to think about. Okay, well that's the only possibility. We would have to test it out to be sure, but if we test it out and it turns out that paradoxes would actually destroy the universe, we could end up accidentally destroying the universe. But no, it's probably fine. We'll be fine. Okay, and this also doesn't explain something else. If she was murdered, we still heard the person who came into the bathroom, right? So how did they get out? Even with time travel, that doesn't explain that. It's possible they could have used Sekimeiya to escape, but then wouldn't they leave it behind? Unless there was some way to send the Sekimeiya to the past as well, but I don't know of any way to do that. Okay, this is actually really interesting. We're at a really dramatic point, but I'm gonna have to end it here. There's no place I can end it that doesn't have a cliffhanger, I'm sorry. Okay, but yeah, this is really interesting. I really want to learn the mechanics behind the Sekimeiya, but we'll have to wait until next time to do that. One thing I did want to say is that today is November 11th. That means it's the 11th month of the 11th day of the 11th month, which is pretty cool. It also happens to be Remembrance Day, and something really peculiar happened to me this Remembrance Day that didn't happen to me all other years that I've had it. I remembered that Remembrance Day is actually very similar to the game I played, Remember 11. It's on the 11th and it has Remember in the name. I wonder if they named Remembrance Day after Remember 11, Kipo. But yeah, what better way to spend my time on Remembrance Day? Respecting those who have sacrificed for our freedom, playing the Sekimeiya Spun Glass. Am I right? But yeah, that'll be the end. So anyway, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll be back probably. Bye!